Okay, so have you ever really looked at your phone and wondered what it's truly capable of? I mean, yeah, we use it for social media and email, but underneath all that, it can be an incredibly powerful security toolkit. Today, we're going to dive in and explore the Android apps that unlock all of that hidden potential.
So let me ask you this. Is your phone secretly a hacking supercomputer? Now, I know that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But you know what? It's way closer to reality than you might think. That line between our phones and those high-powered computers, well, it's getting blurrier every single day.
And let's just talk about raw power for a second. The phone you have in your pocket right now, it's got the processing muscle to go toe-to-toe with a high-end desktop from just a decade ago. Think about that. That is a huge leap in technology, and it puts an absolutely immense amount of capability right in the palm of your hand.
So, the big question is, how do you unlock all that potential? Well, our journey starts with one foundational tool that pretty much turns your phone into a portable little computer.
Everybody, meet Termox. This app is the absolute gateway for so much of what we're about to talk about. It's a terminal emulator, which is a fancy way of saying it gives you a complete Linux environment. But here's the most amazing part, and this is a game changer. You don't need to root your phone. That makes it accessible to pretty much everyone.
Once you have Termox, you can do all kinds of things. You can install Python or JavaScript, manage your coding projects with Git, connect securely to servers, and even run advanced text editors. So you see, it's not just an app. It's a whole development and security environment that literally fits in your pocket. It's the bedrock for everything that's coming next.
All right, now that we've got our foundation set up, let's build on it. We're about to step into the world of network security. This is where we can start to explore the tools that are used to analyze, to test, and yeah, even to attack networks.
But before we even get to the tools, we have to understand a core threat, especially when you're on public Wi-Fi. It's called session hijacking. This is basically where an attacker can steal your active login session and just impersonate you online. Scary stuff.
And here's how ridiculously simple it can be. Let's say you're at a coffee shop. You connect to their Wi-Fi. An attacker on that same network starts intercepting your data. They grab that little digital cookie that keeps you logged into a website, and boom, just like that, they're inside your account. It's a really stark reminder of why unsecured networks are so dangerous.
Which of course brings us to the tools themselves. You've got Zanny, which is like a Swiss Army knife for mapping out networks and finding weak spots. Then there's Hackadude, which is a whole suite for reconnaissance. You know, gathering intel. Droid Sheep is really interesting because it's designed specifically to show you how session hijacking works, making that abstract threat feel very, very real. And then there's Wi-Fi Kill, which can actually kick people off a network by basically flooding the router with requests until it can't handle it anymore.
And you know, that's really the crucial point here. For security researchers and students, these tools aren't just about attacking. They're for learning. They take a theoretical risk, something like session hijacking, and they make it tangible. They make it something you can actually see and grasp.
Okay, let's level up. We've looked at individual tools, but now let's talk about the comprehensive professional-grade toolkits that are designed for serious penetration testers.
So on one hand, you've got something like Csploit. It's a super powerful suite that pulls in tools like Metasploit, letting you find and launch exploits right from your phone. But on the other hand, you've got NetHunter, which is, well, it's a whole other beast. It installs the entire Kali Linux operating system on your phone, turning it into a dedicated hacking machine. It can even do sophisticated hardware attacks, like tricking a computer into thinking your phone is a keyboard.
So far, we've been focused mostly on networks, right? But what about the apps themselves? There's a whole other category of tools designed just for reverse engineering and figuring out what an app is really doing behind the scenes.
For example, AndroRat. It's a remote administration tool, and it's a pretty chilling demonstration of what a malicious app could do. We're talking accessing your calls, your messages, your location. Then you've got Packet Capture, which lets you see exactly what data your apps are sending out over the internet. And tools like DroidBox and MobeSF are basically mobile security labs, letting researchers safely pull apart an app to find hidden behaviors and vulnerabilities.
Now, the tools we've seen so far are incredibly powerful, but they all rely on a human operator. The real leap forward, the thing that changes the game, comes when we ask, what happens when these tools start to think for themselves? So let's take a look at where this is all going.
Right, the next frontier in mobile security is, you guessed it, artificial intelligence. We are moving from a world of automated scripts to a world of truly intelligent systems that can think, predict, and adapt on their own.
You know, the evolution of security testing has been just remarkable. We went from this painstaking manual process to the automated toolkits that we have today. The next logical step, really, is AI, that doesn't just run scripts, but actively analyzes and predicts threats, maybe even before they happen.
And here are just some concepts of what that future might look like. Imagine an AI that can actually think like a human hacker, finding little flaws and chaining them together to create a major breach. Or an AI that can do weeks of research in just a few minutes. Or get this, one that can predict brand new unknown vulnerabilities, those 0 days, just by spotting tiny, subtle changes in network behavior.
So here's the bottom line. The future of cybersecurity isn't just about having better tools, it's about having smarter tools. It's about being faster, more predictive, and really leaning into AI to stay one step ahead of all the threats out there.
After exploring all this incredible and frankly kind of scary technology, we're left with this really critical idea. Every single tool that's made for defense can also be a tool for attack. Understanding this power is really the first step toward responsible security.
So what can you actually do to stay safe? Well, first, vet your apps carefully. Be really suspicious of apps asking for too many permissions. Second, avoid open, unsecured Wi-Fi whenever you can, or at least use a VPN. Third, check your home router and turn off the WPS feature. It's a well-known vulnerability. And finally, just stay curious. The best defense is always understanding the offense.
Which leaves us with one last thought to chew on. We've seen how security tools are evolving at this breathtaking pace, becoming more intelligent, more autonomous. So the question for all of us is this: as the tools of attack get